Happy Wednesday, everyone. Tonight, I want to take a trip across the pond to a place called the UK. It used to stand for United Kingdom, but now it stands for unhinged knuckleheads. First, there's a group of feeble-minded freaks called Just Stop Oil. After seeing them, you'd wish they'd just stop breathing. You've seen their protests. They block traffic during rush hour, which makes them as persuasive as Alec Baldwin teaching gun safety. Because nothing inspires societal change better than acting like a total But last week, when they pulled a traffic stunt, this happened. Yeah, nothing like applauding violence. I agree. A furious motorist steps in to remove the blockade. But did the police side with the working class guy, the productive member of society who was just trying to get to his job? Or the shiftless imbeciles who have been laid since the Thatcher era? Watch.
GTO for 6 on active will get you locked in that car.
It's amazing. The police cuffed the motorist, perhaps because he just doesn't have the right politics that would allow him to break the law. If only he were a drag queen racing to the library to read to orphans. But we see this more and more. Here's the hierarchy. The protesters, who have all the time in the world yet nowhere to get to, are allowed to break the law and impede your life. And the guy who steps in because the cops won't, well, he's the thug. So a mob of idiots get legal protection, and if you do something about it, the cops will detain you. It's as if the country is run by a family of inbreds.
Well played.
Thank you.
Well played.
It's history.
Tree don't fork.
So the problem's obvious. We're supposed to calculate the amount of suffering that goes into harming a protester. But you can't do the same for the suffering caused by the protesters. People who miss job interviews, or need to go to a doctor's appointment, or need to see a specialist about excessive back hair. Meanwhile, there's another Brit, oh, you're gonna love this, an 18-year-old named Mizzy from London who films himself doing actual crimes. So he's like Hunter Biden, but with pants. For example, here's the delightful chap stealing a woman's dog in a park.
Hello.
Hi.
You got a nice dog?
Sorry?
You got a nice dog?
She's lovely, she's family dog. Don't run.
Being gang, whole lot of gangs. We outside! We outside!
Yeah. Did I mention he also likes to walk into strangers' homes?
James? Come to the front door right now, please.
James?
James?
Is this where the study group is?
No. No. What door number is this?
No. Study group.
Oh, 5:30. Come on. Come on, it's a bit. Come on, guys. Come on. Inside.
Wait, this is not where the study group is?
We got kids, man.
Oh, you got kids? Oh, sorry.
Wow, great prank. Try that in Texas, and he'd have more holes in him than a centipede's bowling ball. He also harasses women, telling them they're gonna die.
What? I'm gonna show you from over there. I like your hair still. You got some nice hair. It's nice and luscious. I'm perfectly fine. We're gonna die.
And to top it off, he menaces Jews. I mean, what's he trying to do, audition for MSNBC? Now, Mizzy claims he's just a merry prankster trying to be noticed. But with that logic, Jeffrey Dahmer was just auditioning for a spot on Top Chef. But after 2 weeks of terrorizing people, he's finally arrested. But frankly, rust moves faster. And so what's his defense? Well, they're pranks. You know, the same way stopping traffic is a protest. He also adds, quote, I'm a black male. That's why there's such an uproar, which really means he assumed he could get away with it because he was a black male. In technical terms, it's called Smollett-itis. But I don't blame him for thinking he's above the law because so many people are. Those protesters are. And let's not forget that we saw over 100 days of riots, lootings, assaults, $2 billion in damages, up to 40 people killed, torched precincts and courthouses. But we saw no mass arrests or mass convictions. So many people are above the law. And it's all because we excuse insanity. And now you can do anything because you're fighting oppression, even when there is no oppression around. Like the people blocking traffic, they win because those hardworking people in cars are evil. And if one of those drivers accidentally hits a protester, well, you know who the villain would be, even if the protester put his own life in danger. And imagine if someone shot that teen when he broke into his house, who would be the villain then, even if that punk had put his own life in danger? You and I know. So that's where we are. It's a moral flip, where cops cuff a regular Joe, protesters get protection, and criminals who film their exploits gain infamy until the public steps in. It's already happened here with Daniel Penny. Penny saw some nut on the subway threatening innocent people, and he stepped in because nobody else would. Now Penny's been charged with manslaughter for doing the cop's job, just like that motorist did the cop's job. I'm guessing you're going to see more of this, people doing the cop's job. Fact is, activists and criminals alike exploited their human prey for being mostly peaceful. We're nice people. But we are finally seeing what happens when you push these nice people too far. And the response is vigilantism, or is it public service? At this point, who knows? It's just a necessity. Welcome tonight's guest. Adam Schiff fears her more than crosses in sunlight. Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. His fans line up for tickets to Belgium to be euthanized. Actor, writer, and comedian Jamie Lissow. Like a bent sewing machine, she seems weird.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
I'm embarrassed that came out of my mouth.
Look at her.
And I don't say that very often. That was Kat Timp, by the way.
Hi.
Oh, boy.
And finally, he moonlights as a cell tower. My massive sidekick in the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Tyrus. Jamie, you welcome protesters at your show because at least somebody's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you don't read the signs, it's like, yep, they're there for me.
Yes. What do you make of like the fact that those cops took the guy trying to do their job down? I thought that was just outrageous.
It was infuriating, right? It was infuriating. I will say, though, of all the protests, did you see the Just Stop Oil, which I don't like the name of their, I feel like they're like, Just Stop Oil. It could be more powerful, you know?
Yeah.
Do you know it was a slow walk? That was what the protest was a slow walk, which if you're doing it to me, you can have whatever you want. Like if they're starting to pick things that are that annoying, like I think all the people in Times Square today are also protesting the same thing.
Yes.
And I'm like, what's next? Are they gonna like shoot really loud? Because that's also, I have a weird thing where I can't.
Yeah.
Is this just me where I can't? Like I saw someone was eating a peach once, right next to me, and I was like, if this guy takes another bite, another juicy, loud bite of this peach, I'm going to prison today. And then he was like, oh, you must have misophonia?
Yeah.
And I was like, what's that? And he goes, well, that's when you get annoyed, like really annoyed at other people chewing. And I was like, that's possible. Or maybe you have eat like an animal's disease. There's nothing wrong with me. But can I say one quick thing about...
You never say one quick thing.
That's true. Could I say one slow, drawn-out setup followed by a short, unfunny punchline?
Yes. Please do.
The Mizzy thing is really upset. Like the thing with the old woman, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
I hate him so much. And it's like, are these really pranks? They're not. Like he's getting into the wrong Uber. He's going into are these pranks or just things that Biden will do next week?
Yes. Ending on a high note and some red meat. Representative Luna, welcome to the show.
Very happy to be here.
Excellent, excellent. What do you make of this idea that, like, basically now the society is, because it's seen as oppressed, has fewer rights than the people who are claiming that they are oppressed?
I mean, the fact is that this guy is obviously monetizing his platform on harassing normal citizens, but it's crazy because this doesn't just stop in the culture war, it's bleeding over, and we see it every day in politics. And every single day we hear people that say, you know, the most marginalized community when we are born in the greatest country in the world is seeming to struggle the most. Yet if you put in the hard work and effort, you can accomplish anything. So I'm not surprised. It's frustrating, but someone like this, I mean, obviously the guy's a criminal and he's clearly harassing people.
Yeah. All right. You know, Tyrus, I just keep thinking what you would do what you would do in either of these situations. Sometimes I'll float over into the traffic situation and I'll fantasize. I'll fantasize. And it could go, the fantasy could go on for days. And then I go back to the guy wandering in with his friends in your house.
If he would just come to my house, I'd be so happy. I would probably say somebody finally got me a gift that I wanted.
Yeah.
Kids, did you do this for me? You get to see Daddy be a monster for a little while. And I loved your monologue, but you know the whole thing about holes in them. No, it's Texas. It'd just be one hole.
No, that's
just
true.
be one hole.
Florida's maybe a little different.
Boom. Florida, they just get wild with him. Here's the thing. It's always it drives me crazy. It seems to be the thing right now. They're only doing this because I'm black. No, they're doing this because you're stealing and videotaping it, breaking into people's house. The caveat is that you're black. Now that you're caught, is because you're breaking crimes.
Yeah.
But it goes back to first world problems. We live in America. It's a beautiful first world place where you can claim that's not happening. You can not even have creative slogans. Stop the oil.
Yeah.
And they drew a skeleton on it. I don't know what bones and oil have to do with each other other than the dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? But they just do. And the reason why the police arrested the guy is because he put hands on him. But so as long as he didn't put hands on him, I was a little shocked. I don't understand why he got out of his car and pushed them when he could have done the same thing in his car and done it hands-free. Because here's the deal. I don't care how dedicated you are. A moving car, you'll move.
Yes.
You can be slow. It can be like Austin Powers where the guy's like, no! You know, you just slowly, he will move.
Yeah.
Just do that. Just don't get out of the car. Just, you know, drive
slowly
through.
move forward.
Yeah.
That's your strategy, Kat, in life. Slowly moving forward.
I'm on the New York Times list again this week. I was a cashier like a little more than 10 years ago, so I think that's actually meteoric, and I'm quite proud of myself.
Well, you should. You're underlying what the Congresswoman said about our society.
Yeah.
That people should be proclaiming the golden opportunities we give to marginalized people like you, the Polish.
Nobody ever talks about the Polish.
I know, I just did.
Yeah, I
Thank you for your
appreciate
service,
that.
Greg.
Yeah,
Thank you, thank you. It's just amazing. Not that she even put out a book, but that she can read one.
Well, you know what's really sad?
You haven't been watching the show for 7 years.
Yeah, it's fine.
You think all of a sudden he's just going to compliment her and not have some backhanded thing at the end. Shame on you. You should know better.
You should never be surprised anymore.
I can also really write. I agree with Tyrus, though. The slogan is so stupid.
Yeah.
They're like, just stop oil. As if that's simple, which is why, of course, they're not fazed by people who need to get to work, because they're like, just don't go.
Yeah.
If you guys think this is stupid, though, you'd be blown away by some of the stuff we hear on natural resources. I mean, these people actually think, you know, it's crazy. A majority of Americans with the national income, they can't afford brand new electric vehicles, and they're just like, you just need to finance it and deal with it.
Right.
Like, you can't do that. You can't force people to do that.
Even if you made electric vehicles free, and we had 50% of the country you can't plug them in nowhere. There's not enough. Everyone will be out of power.
Exactly.
It'd probably be Jamie to plug the one in that shorts everything out.
And if you got a little, and if you got a little dog, he's going to just chew right through that.
Yeah.
He'll chew right through all of them.
There's just no way to, and I get so pissed off when I'm trying to get to work and I can't get to work.
Yeah.
So I think that if you really need to pay attention to that. People are like, oh, who are these people and I can't get to work and now my life's living hell. I want to listen to them more. No, because I've even said that about like the Christmas tree.
Yes. You hate Christmas.
And I know I don't. I love Christmas. Well, because I like to hang out with my family.
That is true.
Who's nice to me.
That's good. All right, we got to move on.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.